And we are live. Hey friends, I am super excited to welcome you to this week's Healthy CEO episode. So this is your dose, your weekly dose of 1%, where I share with you how you can create a healthy CEO mindset for yourself, your household, your career, and your life. So my name is Meggin Anderson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am a mom of 3, a fitness professional and business owner. I started my online fitness business in 2013 while simultaneously becoming a stay-at-home mom for the first time, and found myself really feeling pressured to choose between my business, being healthy and fit, and being a mom and taking care of the house all at the same time. But what I found was that I didn't have to choose, and that I could in fact have it all, my cake and eat it too, so to speak. Okay, so I created the Healthy CEO podcast to share with you guys how I make it all work, and you don't have to sacrifice any one area to be successful in all the others. Okay, you guys, let's do this. So we are back from our first official week after the holiday break. I feel like for me, I was away on business at our annual summit convention, and then we had the 4th of July holiday, and then it was like holidays, days off, working days out, like all of this up and down. And so if you're anything like me, or feeling just out of whack, out of sync, right? Maybe too many days in a row of like fun foods, cocktails, you feel bloated, you feel tired and guilty. Let me just tell you, it's normal, right? It's normal to feel this way. I think you'd be lying to yourself if you've never been in a position where you felt off track, or you felt like you experienced a setback, or you felt confused or frustrated or stuck when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, right? We all have like competing commitments and demands that come and take over, right? Or we sometimes will feel like that ambivalence or resistance, right? So really wanting to come in and share with you guys my tips to help you sort of course correct, right? But to also share with you that these feelings are all normal, and this will all happen to us at one point or another, okay? So really, though, what you want to take away from that experience, and the real question that you want to ask yourself, is what you're going to do about it, right? How is your mindset going to shift into, I don't want to stay this way. I need to course correct. I need to figure out what's not working and change things, right? So instead of sitting there going, woe is me, I'm just going to like eat all the pizza and drink all the things. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to change? Okay, so today I want to share with you guys some really great tips, and it's almost like this checklist that you can go through. So when you find yourself in a place, depending on what season of life it is, you can come back to this video and sort of like go through these different strategies in place to help yourself course correct, right? And change, okay? So number 1 is reminding yourself to practice that growth mindset. Okay, so this is actually a key stress management skill. And one of the things that I'm working on for my own personal self and my own professional growth is I am going through a sleep, stress, and recovery certification right now, which is super fun. I'm super excited to be able to bring you more strategies to help with stress management, to help you to recover better, sleep better, and all of those things. So kind of watch out for that as it sort of unrolls. But practicing that growth mindset is, it's okay to sort of use this situation that you're going through, the struggle, as feedback. Okay. Remind yourself that there's no such thing as failure, that this is just data in order to get better, right? We often use this example with our children, like when they're toddlers and they fall down, or when their baby's learning to walk, right? They keep getting up. They keep trying. They keep doing it differently, right? And I'm always telling my team and always telling my community, like, I do get frustrated. I do hit brick walls and things, but my mindset is such that I think, okay, this is not working. How do I make things better? What are some different things that I can do to go around and make a change? Okay, so practicing that growth mindset use this as feedback in order to get better. Data, right? Like analysis, analyze the information to get better, right? Okay, number 2 is take a 5-minute action to get back on track. So this could be something super simple as like tracking your water, right? Like I'm always telling my ladies, tracking, because this is also going to leave clues. Like you're going to be able to reflect and say, did I do the things? How come I'm not at my goal? Well, I didn't track my water. I didn't track tracking is going to leave clues so that you can fill in the blanks and keep going forward. So taking a 5-minute action, tracking water, move your body, go for a walk, right? Think about the things that you need in order to live a healthy lifestyle and just pick a really short, quick something. And just start practicing that, okay, to get back on track. If you saw my posts earlier last week, we talked about action and motivation and which comes first. And a lot of people, because I hear all the time, I wish I had your motivation. I wish I had your motivation. But the secret is when you take small little actions every single day, the action is what's going to start that momentum and give you that motivation, right? So by taking small actions, that's going to propel you in the right direction to start getting back into those habits, okay? Number 3 is changing your environment, right? So a lot of times we don't even realize that we have all these distractions going on, right? And we're losing our focus, right? So maybe it could be at home or work or like, I'm not saying quit your job or anything like that, but be paying attention to what's happening around you, who is around you, what is happening. Are your bad habits lending themselves to you being in a certain situation or a certain environment or certain people and that kind of thing. So really you want to reduce distractions, help improve your focus in some way, shape, or form. I think about this all the time when I'm working on creating my morning routine and implementing personal growth and personal development. I get up really early on purpose before everyone else is awake so I can be in silence and settle my mind and really just wrap my head around the day, embrace the day. So that's a huge one for me in that respect, right? So how can you change your environment, reduce those or eliminate some of those distractions so that you can improve your focus to get back on track? Number 4 is getting support, to move forward if you feel like you need that. So that could be like asking a question inside of our Fit Gym community or my VIP group, or reaching out to a mentor or a coach or a partner, right? This could also mean getting support from your family, your friends. Maybe you have an accountability buddy that you want to or get started with, right? So find support. Don't do it alone. I feel like so often we're like, I can do this. I'm strong enough to do this by ourselves. When the real story is not so much. And I feel like the motivation and the action and the excitement increases tenfold when you're surrounded by other people that you're doing it with too, right? Like, for example, we have our accountability groups, our online groups, and I work with people all over the United States and Canada and United Kingdom, but I also teach classes here locally, right? The camaraderie between being in person or being in an online community or having somebody that you can walk with down the street, right? All of those things lend itself to support. And if you're still feeling isolated, you can always send me a message. I'm happy to chat with you about your goals or help with you, different items and tips to kind of course correct. I want you to experiences, okay? So this gives you valuable information about what you need to do to get better the next time. And also, rather than reframing this as failure, and I mentioned this in that first tip was, this is data, right? Like use this as scientific data in order to get better. How can you do it differently? I will also tell you that I have a lot of conversations with women about, well, before I had the kid, I was doing this and this worked for me, right? Or when I was in high school or when I was an athlete, I did this. Okay, so that is all great information to go back at. You also need to know that this time of life, this season of life that you could be in is going to be different, right? Your body's different. The time is different. You have now family or what have you. Your job is different. things are different. So you use this information in order to get better, right? You're not failing, you're not a loser. You need to take that information and figure out how to course correct and make that better. So you're learning from your past experiences, what worked, what didn't, how do you feel? Another great example that I always find is people are like, trying to figure out what the best diet is, right? And you'll hear me say this all the time. If you're in my online community, you've heard me say this till I'm blue in the face. The best diet is the one that works for you consistently. Right? So if you have been doing something all along and all of a sudden you're like, this isn't sustainable, I'm not able to keep up with this on a long-term basis, then that's telling you not that you're a failure or a loser, that you can't do it, that's not what is right for you right now. Okay. And it's okay to change too. You can say, okay, this worked for me for this time of life. Now I need to make things a little bit different for this time of life, right? And then there'll be those seasons where you want to push a little bit harder for those goals. And then there'll be those seasons where you're going to be a little bit more relaxed. You're not letting your foot off the gas. You're still working on yourself every day, but maybe your goals aren't quite what they were when you were over here in this season of life. Okay, so use those past experiences to get better rather than thinking you're a loser or a failure, right? Okay, just to recap, remind yourself to practice that growth mindset. Take a 5-minute action. 3 is change your environment. 4 is getting support. And 5 is to learn from your past experiences. Okay, so rather than giving up and having these setbacks, this is just really good information in order to move forward. I don't know if you guys have any questions while I'm going live. I would love to field any questions if you're feeling stuck, if you're needing any help with anything. If you've been following my stories and all of my posts, you know that today was our day 1 of our big chop wood carry water program inside of the Next Level Living Fit Gym. So we are all on fire today. Day 1s are so fun because everybody is like, I did it. And I've got people in all different time zones. So all day long, they'll be, chiming in and what have you. So that's been really exciting. I love how diverse our platform is and how the programs are constantly being upgraded with new options to support our different fit journeys. And I think it's really cool because, depending on where you are, fitness-wise, nutrition-wise, ability-wise, there's something that works for everyone. And so when you're feeling like you're getting a little bit off track, there's always these tools and resources to kind of course correct you. When we talk about taking small action steps consistently to help you to stay motivated, we obviously have all of that support. And I am constantly teaching my women, my moms, to be tracking their progress so that we can reflect every single week. How did that go? How did that work for you? It did or it didn't. And how are we going to change that going forward? Okay. So if you guys have questions or you would like to learn more about being a part of our online community, I would love to have that conversation with you. So you can either comment below or you can send me a direct message and I would be happy to talk with you about your goals. I think a lot of times people don't realize that having a conversation with me is free. Right? I don't charge you to walk through the steps on how to make a change. It is completely 100% complimentary for us to have a conversation to see if something like this would even be a good fit for you, if you would jive with us, if it's something that would even be appropriate for what your goals are right now. So send me a message. Let's talk about it. I also have a free health assessment form that you can fill out to get you started. This is going to just start you to start thinking about all the different facets of life and ways that you would like to make changes or improve and those kinds of things. So I'm super excited for this month. We have so much going on. We're actually also doing a book club inside of my online community. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but I have a lot of ladies that are interested. So we're working on that for July. And just all of the good things. So send me a message if you want to have that conversation. I hope that these tips helped you. Save this video so that when you're feeling frustrated or stuck or just, really off track, or you're coming back from some vacation and you're like, gosh, really need to make those changes. This is going to help you to just change that mindset, right? Not feel like a failure, not feel like you did a bad thing and guilty from eating and having the fun, right? And often you'll hear me say inside my community that we are working on a healthy and fit lifestyle in order to have the fun and to go on the vacations and celebrate, right? So It's meant to complement your life. It's not meant to detract. It's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be torture. It's meant to feel good and amazing and wonderful so that you can go out and live your life outside of the gym, right? Okay, so save this list. Hope it was helpful. Let me know your feedback and your thoughts. If you're struggling, send me a message. I would love to talk to you. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. And I'll talk to you soon.